I just kind of wanted to talk about something briefly. Um, just because I feel like it needs to be said. Not that like it's getting like a ton of attention, but it's getting enough of attention that I feel the need to talk about it. So the other day, I posted this on Twitter, um, and it kind of got a lot of attention. There were some people that misunderstood the point that I was getting at, I think, with the post. Um, but yeah, I mean, it was this meme. That's what I shared. Basically, just pointing out like, just kind of referring to other people that are like on YouTube and on Twitter. More so, Twitter specifically is where I've been seeing a lot of it. That like, oh, they're just like referring to Steam charts, like, oh, the game's dead still, it hasn't taken off yet, blah blah blah, like it's a massive flop. The relaunch is a massive flop. And while I while it's true, right? Like the game only has right now is only holding about 1,000 players. It doesn't like that doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. And also, the point of the post is not to say that criticism is not allowed. Criticism is absolutely 100% allowed, and I would love for you to criticize and like, you know, say things that you do like and that you don't like about the game, right? Um, like I encourage you obviously to say things you do and don't like about the game. That's not the point of the post. The point of the post was that I don't care how many people are playing it. I am enjoying it. And like I don't care. To me, it doesn't matter how many people are playing it. If I'm enjoying it and I'm having fun, that's all that matters, right? That's the whole point of the post. It got a lot of attention. A lot of people like completely affirming my point and calling it, continuing to call it a dead game. People misunderstanding the point and saying like, oh yes, no, criticism is not allowed, blah blah blah, which is not. Again, I've already demonstrated that's not what I'm talking about. Like the game absolutely deserves criticism and valid criticism. The point is more so like just shouting about Steam charts is not criticism of the game. It's just screaming about how many people are playing it. Like it's pointless, you know? Like what are we doing in doing that? Nothing. A valid criticism would be like, I'm in the training range right now, right? Like a valid criticism would be like, what if there were a section like off in here or like behind this wall where I could go and like have moving targets that I could shoot while they're moving, you know what I mean? Like that would be a valid criticism. That would be something that like I don't like that I don't have that in the training range. I would like to see that in the training range. It's something a lot of games have. A lot of shooters have in the training range is an area to practice your aim while the targets are moving. Along with that, if you're partied up with somebody, I would also like to have the ability for the people that I'm in a party with to enter the training range. You know, I would love for that to be a feature. Because I think that I think that's something that's important as well. Just to kind of have, you know, people like to hang out in the training range together sometimes on different games. That's a valid criticism, you know. And if we want to look at like the Steam chart specifically, do I have it up? So like if we look real quick at the Steam chart specifically real quick, you'll notice like last Monday peaked at around 833. Tuesday peaked around 855. Wednesday and Thursday kind of dipped because of the New Year. Makes sense that people wouldn't be playing on the New Year because they're doing New Year celebrations. They're with family. And then after the New Year, it went back up to 837. It went back up to 925. Went 918 over the weekend. 929 again, and today it's kind of hanging out around 951 right now, and that's kind of been steadily growing. So, like, the game is still averaging, like, 800 to 900 players a day. 900 on the weekend, 800 during the week. So while that's like not spectacular numbers and you're not seeing much growth, that's because there's no marketing happening right now. Like, they haven't done any kind of advertising at all. So the people that are playing are the people that knew that the game relaunched, and they hopped on, they gave it a try, they like it, and they're hopping on and they're playing every day, right? That shows, like, what that shows is it shows good retention, right? The game is the people that the game has brought in are sticking around, and they're continuing to play it. They're continuing to make it their one of the games that they play every day, right? Or at least consistently. If they're not playing it every day, they're at least playing it consistently. And that's kind of like the whole point, right? And that's kind of what the devs wanted in this relaunch. They didn't want to do marketing right away. They wanted to make sure that the product that they had was one that people were satisfied with. And I think right now the devs have exactly what they want. They know, like, the product that we put out is one that, players are generally satisfied with. So I think that, like, all this talk about the player count and everything is, like, it's in the right circles, it's going against the game's favor, but, like, I think it actually is towards the game's favor. Like, when you look at just the retention rate, which I think is the more important thing here. Because when you consider, like, a game can only survive on the amount of players that play every day and the amount of players that it's able to retain. And right now, Splitgate is showing that it is able to retain players. It is able to keep players in and keep players engaged and coming back, I mean, I play the game almost every day, right? Like, it's fun. And I mean, I have played almost every day for several months. I mean, there was a few months, like, towards the end where I kind of wasn't playing as much just because it got very stale. But they released a content roadmap. This month, we're getting the Arena Royale, right? Like, this month, Arena Royale is coming. Next month, we're getting the Instagib mode, I think, in February, and we're getting a new map as well. And then in March, we're getting a new power weapon. Like, there's content coming, so there's content to keep people coming back. My main concern right now is not the ability for the game to grow. I think the game will grow. My main concern right now is how much is the timing of the BR, right? Because if they do this marketing push and they include the BR heavily in some way, I think it's going to kind of be the same result as the last time, because players do not want to see the BR. A lot of players that left do not want to see the BR in the game. They don't want it in the game. So I think while the BR should be there in the promotion, I think the advertising needs to be very arena focused. It needs to be very, like, this is an arena shooter. It has a battle royale, but it is an arena shooter. Because if they don't, I think it's going to meet the same fate as it did the last time. Which is that it's just, you're going to release the patch notes, it's going to have, a lot of BR stuff in it, and people are just going to leave. Because they're going to see it as, this is a BR, this is not the experience I want out of Splitgate. And that would be fair. Like, I can't blame them. I would not be able to blame those people for feeling that way and having those opinions. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my thoughts. Generally speaking, I think the game is in a really good spot. I think that the game is right where the devs want it to be at this point, where they did the relaunch, they didn't do any advertising, and it's retaining players. Like it's shown that it can keep players playing and keep players active, and so I think that's right where they want it to be, and that is a good sign for the game's future in general.